Konnichiwa, and welcome to Tsuki no Ame, where we try Japanese snacks and treats. Today we have 3 snacks to try from Boxu. So the name is a little tricky. So these are the HokkaidoChips scallop butter. And the first thing I have to say is they are not chips, they are rice crackers. The second, and this might just be a me thing, but when I read scallop butter, my mind immediately went to scalloped potatoes. It's not scallop butter like scalloped potatoes. It is scallop butter as in scallops with buttery soy sauce, according to the culture guide, which has me a little nervous. Seafood has been a bit hit or miss on the channel. I'm hoping it turns out, but we're going to find out. Next, we're going to try this little one in between the 2 big packages. This one, the name is pretty straightforward. This is the Seaweed Arare Sesame oil. It is a seaweed rice cracker flavored with sea salt and sesame oil. I think it should be pretty good. We've had some pretty good rice crackers on the channel. I'm looking forward to it. And then we're going to finish with another one where the name is kind of pretty straightforward. These are the potato chips Hokkaido smoked butter. So it's supposed to have kind of a smoky, buttery, salty flavor to it. I'm really curious to see. We've had some really good potato chips on the channel, so I am really excited about that. So with all that in mind, let's get started. Itadakimasu! So starting with our HokkaidoChips scallop butter. There we go. Okay, so for those of you who might be new to the channel, if you've been on the channel for a while, you probably already know this. If you're new, hi, welcome, thanks for joining. But at least it seems to me that depending on how the seafood food snacks are prepared, sometimes they kind of get like the seafood stank if it's gotten a little bit old, but sometimes they're able to capture it fresh. So we're going to find out if they managed to avoid having that kind of seafood stank, or if they were able to get, the fresh scalloped flavor. I'm hoping when they manage to get it fresh, we've had some really good ones. It's borderline on it. It has a good crunch. It's not too bad. It's not my favorite of the rice crackers that we've had, but it's not bad. The scallop flavor is very, very strong. I'm not sure how much of the butter or the soy sauce flavor I was really getting. I think if I'm going to eat something with that strong of a scallop flavor, I'd rather just eat scallops, personally. I don't know. They're not bad, but again, I think I prefer some of the other flavors we've gotten. So moving on to our tiny little rice cracker. I just have to call out, that packaging is just beautiful. That's gorgeous packaging. I'm going to try really hard not to destroy it. Like that very delicate color gradation, just beautiful. But here we have, you can see that there's definitely the seaweed in the rice cracker. It smells pretty good, to be honest. I actually think that could have used a little bit more salt, which is not something I say. It's pretty good. The crunch is really, really nice. It kind of cracks the rice cracker. Really good. The flavor of the seaweed is very, very strong. That is, I'd say, the predominant flavor. So if you're somebody who likes seaweed, definitely a good one to try. If you're somebody who's kind of wanting to try seaweed but hasn't yet, this is a very good way to try it, especially just given that, instead of like a big pack of seaweed, this is a little rice cracker where you can kind of get to dip your toe in with the flavor without, having this huge pack of seaweed. Not bad, not too bad. So moving on to our potato chips, Hokkaido smoked butter. It does smell buttery. So there are two types of potato chips in Japan. If you've been on the channel for a while, you might be familiar with. If you're new, hi again, welcome. Sometimes there's the sliced potato, and sometimes it's where they take and make like a potato mash and then form it into a potato chip, kind of like Pringles. And the Pringles style are okay, they're not as good, but the ones where it's a slice of potato that's been fried, really pretty good. And this looks like it's more that style. Oh, that's weird. Okay. So first, starting with texture, it crunches really nicely. It's got the greasiness to it, but it's not very greasy. I've noticed this with the Japanese potato chips. They're not nearly as greasy as like a bag of Lay's. So you've got a little bit of that you want with a potato chip, but nowhere near as much as you get with a lot of, at least American potato chips, which I personally kind of like. I think they're really pretty good. What's interesting is it really does have like a smoked flavor to it, and it is very butter flavored. It really is a smoked butter flavor, and it is good. I have to admit, I've never had like a smoked butter before. I had never heard or thought of it prior to getting this month's box. But I do I like things like smoked cheeses, and it kind of has that same effect to it that you get from doing, say, a smoked Gouda versus a regular Gouda. It's pretty good, to be honest. This is not bad. If you're somebody who likes those kinds of flavors, you might really like this. And just in general, if you have the chance to try a Japanese potato chip, if you see one where it looks like a flavor that you think you might enjoy, highly recommend. Japanese potato chips are amazing. I love them so much. Definitely recommend. Gochiso-sama. So to recap, we did our HokkaidoChips scallop butter, which very strong scallop flavor, and they're kind of on the borderline for they're kind of on the borderline to where they're kind of starting to taste a little off. And it's such a strong flavor. I personally would just rather eat scallops personally, but I don't know, if you're somebody who enjoys the seafood snacks, maybe give it a shot. It is one of the ones that's doing a better job of avoiding the seafood curse. I will say that. We also tried our Seaweed Arare Sesame oil, which very strong seaweed flavor, really pretty good, really nice crunch, pretty tasty. Especially if you're somebody who likes seaweed or is curious about it, this is a great one to go for. Would definitely recommend for somebody who's curious or who really enjoys seaweed. We also did our potato chips, Hokkaido smoked butter, which I'll admit were my favorite of this episode. I love Japanese potato chips just in general, and the smoky buttery flavor does kind of work. It's really different, it's really unusual, and it's kind of fun. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. If you like my shirt, the link for that is down in the description below. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Jane.